All right, let's talk about something weird. You ever get some amazing news, and instead of just pure joy, you feel this sinking feeling, a wave of dread? It's a super confusing feeling, right? But it's also incredibly common. So today, we're going to get into it. We're going to break down the architecture of this anticipated disaster.
I mean, really think about it. Maybe you finally get that job offer you've been dreaming of, or someone you care about says, I love you. You hit some huge goal you've been working towards, and for like a split second, it's just pure happiness. But then, boom, almost immediately that knot just forms in your stomach. Does that sound at all familiar?
Yeah, that's the feeling. It's this deep gut-level certainty that whatever good thing just happened, well, it's just the opening act for something terrible, you know? It's like you're constantly on edge, totally unable to just enjoy the moment because a part of you is already bracing for impact.
Okay, so what is going on here? Like, what's actually happening inside our minds when this kicks in? To really get it, we've got to dig into the weird, paradoxical nature of the feeling itself.
So this thing actually has a name. In psychology, they call it emotional duality. And it's pretty much what it sounds like. It's our ability to feel two totally conflicting things at the exact same time. You can be genuinely happy about the good news and totally anxious about what's coming next. It's not an either-or situation. It's both, all tangled up together.
And this just creates this internal tug of war, right? On one side, you've got this hopeful part of you that's like, yes, this is it. This time is going to be different. But then this other, more primal part of your brain just kicks in with a completely different message. And that part has learned from experience to always, always brace for the fall, even when everything looks totally fine.
Right, so this feeling, it doesn't just come out of nowhere. It's not random. It is absolutely a learned pattern. And a lot of the time, it's one that starts way, way back. So let's take a look at how this whole pattern of disappointment gets built in the first place. A lot of the time, this feeling has deep roots in our childhood. I mean, think about it. If you grew up in a world where the good moments just didn't last, where they were always followed by criticism or disappointment or maybe just nothing at all, well, your brain took notes. It was paying very close attention. And this is the really crucial part. This is not a conscious choice you're making. Your brain is, at its core, a pattern recognition machine. It just memorizes what happens. It memorizes that, hey, joy can be a pretty dangerous prelude to pain. It learns that letting your guard down, well, that leads to getting hurt. And over time, that pattern becomes an automatic, deeply wired-in expectation. Okay, but what's the actual hardware doing? What's the mechanism in our brain that's causing this? Let's dive into the neurology for a second. Turns out, it all comes down to this tiny almond-shaped part of our brain that basically acts as our internal alarm system. And that little structure is the amygdala. The best way to think about it is like it's your brain's hyper-vigilant personal bodyguard. Its one and only job is to keep you safe, so it is constantly scanning your environment for anything that even remotely looks like a threat. And I'm not just talking about a physical threat, but an emotional one too. And the second it senses trouble, bam, it smashes the alarm and triggers all your survival reflexes. So here's the play-by-play of how it creates that brace for impact reflex. Step 1, something good happens. But to your little bodyguard, the amygdala, any change, even a good one, is a reason to scan for danger. So step 2, it immediately starts cross-referencing this new positive feeling with its massive library of all your past experiences. And if it finds a match, if it finds a pattern where joy was followed by pain, that's it. It sounds the alarm, which triggers a flood of anxiety. It's all just a form of self-protection. It's trying to get you ready for the fall that it's now convinced is coming. And that brings us to what might be the most important part of this entire explainer, because this is all about reframing how we look at this whole experience. I really want you to let this sink in for a second. Feeling dread when something good happens does not mean you're broken. It doesn't mean you're a pessimist or that you're ungrateful. It means you have a highly effective survival reflex. It's a feature, not a bug. I mean, think about it. This reflex developed for a very, very good reason. Its job was to shield you from the sharp sting of emotional pain. It's a brilliant adaptation to a past that might have been unpredictable or unstable. So that feeling of dread, it's actually a sign of a brain that has worked and is still working incredibly hard to keep you safe. So what's the big takeaway here? It's this. Understanding that this is a learned reflex, well, that opens up a really powerful new possibility. Because your brain isn't fixed, it learned to anticipate disaster to protect you. And just as it learned that pattern, it has the capacity,
to learn a new one. So the real question isn't, how do I stop this reflex? The question is, if my brain learned this once, what can I teach it next?